money to Ukraine, and not all of it, but I mean, that war is going on for no...
He's like, give it to Israel. Stop this money to Ukraine. What are they doing? Defending themselves from Russia? Fuck those guys. Give it to Israel. Talking to Trump supporters about Israel, Palestine.
Daddy Trump, Daddy Trump, Daddy Trump, Daddy Trump, Daddy Trump, Daddy Trump, Daddy Trump.
I am a gay Democrat and I'm voting for Trump.
We're here today to support Trump.
I love Trump.
You love Trump?
Absolutely, yeah. Since 2016.
You walk down these streets with a Trump hat, people will say the most horrific things to you, including calling you a fascist.
I'm trying to prevent World War III.
Yeah, I don't understand why they do that. I just love so many of his fascist policies, but I can't just like openly support him. By the way, I need you to... Okay, well, I can't be here. I have a bunch of stuff. We'll talk later. Dude. By the way, this is precisely the reason why I say there are no more fucking silent majority shit, okay? What you see is what you get, folks. What you see is what you get, okay? What you see is what you get, folks. There are no more. Okay, Austin, stop yelling. The mic is picking you up. What you see is what you get, okay? People are no longer like, oh, I'm so scared of being a fucking Trump supporter in public or anything like that. They're not. They love it. They wear it proudly on their fucking chest. They never shut the fuck up.
And I think my vote will do that.
Donald Trump is back in New York. He's speaking today in front of 19,000 people at Madison Square Garden. Now, just over a week from now, he could be elected president once again. And naturally, we're here to talk to his supporters, die-hard Trump fans, about why they want him back in the Oval Office and what they think he can do to change the outcome of the war in Gaza and in Lebanon.
USA! 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 We love Trump! We love Trump! We love Trump! Fight, fight, fight! Fight, fight, fight!
We love Trump! We need Trump! World need Trump!
We're here at the entrance of Madison Square Garden. This is where they block off the roads, and lots of Trump supporters, lots of red caps, lots of Make America Great Again. And let's go talk to some of these people. Let's see what they have to say. So as a Democrat, why have you decided to vote for Trump?
Because those people are crazy. That's simple. That's your soundbite. That's it. Nothing else needs to be said. That's it. They've gone crazy.
How do you feel about Trump in terms of foreign policy?
Oh, he's good. He's good. Yeah. He's good, yeah. Donnie's got it going on, baby. Donnie's got it going on. They all know, boy. If Donnie comes back, they all got to start behaving.
Who needs to stop behaving?
All of them. All 191 of them need to start behaving when Donnie comes back.
A collection of all the uncles and aunts not allowed at Christmas, and all the shitty bad kids too. Like all the worst children. Like, I often wonder what that's like. Like, I'm so fortunate to not have like, I mean, I have my political disagreements with my immediate family members, but like nothing so broad, you know what I mean? Yeah, but all the fucking failed children too. They're just like, I love Donald Trump. He's gonna fucking fix the economy. It's like, what? How? How's he gonna fix the economy? Explain to me right now how he's gonna fix the goddamn economy. The things were so much cheaper when Trump was president. You were 12. What are you basing this off of? Fucking Haribo jelly beans? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? What do you mean? Go ahead. Explain to me. You were 12 years old. Tell me what the Trump administration's impact was. Like, you don't understand. I was lasered in on the consumer price index as a 12-year-old, okay? This is what I was looking at every quarter. I was waiting for the Fed report, okay? Yeah, V-Bucks were cheaper, dude.
How do you feel about the war in Gaza right now?
This is the Magador code. Our movement is, we're mad.
This is the best part about the election. Nothing else, dude. This is the best part. Okay? It's just like hogs. Hog watch, baby. Unrestricted hog watch, dude.
Matadors supporting the Magador himself, the Matador, Magador, Make America.
The Magador, that's clever.
Magador, like that. And
You cannot build a cohesive, coherent national movement around the most insane people you have ever seen. I'm sorry. Not even in a country like America. Maybe like in the next 20 years when we are full tilt in decline. But like, even right now, as it stands, you cannot have the sweatiest, grossest motherfuckers build a coherent national campaign. You cannot build a national campaign off of people who are no longer invited to Thanksgiving. Okay? You can't do it. And it's not because they're conservative. Okay? Do not misunderstand me. These are the fucking people with their conservative family members being like, yeah, okay, just don't. You know, Uncle Hank, you got to fucking not show up this year. I'm sorry. Okay? I am telling you right now, we're not there yet. I don't think we're there yet. And I think that's part of the reason why, like on the vibes front, this is why I low-key think, despite running a dog shit fucking campaign, Kamala Harris still has a decent shot at winning. Okay? I think, and I was talking to Austin about this. He can confirm this. I was talking to Austin about this the other day. I think that there are not silent majority Trumpians anymore, or like even shy Trump voters. I think there is a real phenomena of shy Democrat voters, people who are embarrassed to vote for Kamala Harris for one reason or another, because like, whether it be because of the Gaza policy, whether it be because like they think that she is kind of embarrassing to support. I think, or perhaps even more importantly, wait, Austin said that? When did he fucking say that? This motherfucker, did he steal my fucking take that I had in private with him and then repeated it? When did he say that? Did he say that this morning? Okay, I can't tell this motherfucker anything in private. I can't tell this motherfucker anything in private. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, well, anyway, you said that today live? I've told him before as well. Anyway, listen. Like I was saying, I think that the real phenomenon that you are going to see, this is vibes based for the most part, is the actual shy Kamala Harris voter. This, you might say, is copium. But I do think that, especially in the suburbs, due to an unrestricted amount of political violence that comes your way if you openly back the Democrats in a red state or in a red area or in an area that you perceive as a red area, specifically in swing states and swing districts, I think there are a shit ton of people who want to vote for Kamala Harris. Like, they don't really like her that much. They're not, like, they don't have the permission to be like, nah, that's my fucking candidate. Fuck you. Okay? Because it's Kamala Harris. Why the fuck would you do that? But I genuinely think, especially because Republicans have gotten so fucking unhinged, that there are people who just don't want to put a fucking sign up on their front yard because they don't want to get a fucking brick through their window. Okay? They don't want to get a brick through their window from the unhinged Trump supporter that's going to be like, why the fuck did you put that? You want to transgender my daughter? I'll fucking kill you. Like, they don't want to even have that. They don't want to have that. They don't have a weird conversation with a neighbor. Okay? Because these guys are so fucking smelly and so fucking insane and so entitled due to no deterrence whatsoever. Okay? Due to just letting them run amok in this goddamn country, that I think that there are a lot of, especially older voters, especially in the suburbs, especially in purple districts, people that just like don't want to openly run around telling everybody that they're voting for Kamala Harris, but they probably are. One other aspect of this is, and I don't know how successful this will be, we'll find out about it. I was telling Austin, like, you'll see, if I'm correct, you'll see the New York Times write an article about like the silent majority actually was for Kamala Harris. Like the real silent majority in America, how purple districts swung for Kamala Harris with these quiet voters. Okay, that's the title. I'm giving you the fucking headline. I'm giving you the title. If Kamala Harris wins, this is the reason. Okay, they're gonna say the shy Kamala Harris voter was real. Okay, now what they're going to say what they're going to say is like, due to, once again, an insane amount of like violence and annoying conversations at least, and direct violence at worst, a lot of people did not want to openly fuck, and also because they were embarrassed because Kamala Harris is not a great and not a strong candidate, that a lot of people did not want to openly communicate their desire for Kamala Harris. And that also on top of that, the campaign has been trying to run initiatives, even in red districts, for women specifically, being like, hey, if you want to vote in secrecy from your husband, like, here are the methods as to how you can do that. Like the hidden spouse vote basically is the highest level of like conspiracy in this argument that I have. What's the line between cope and delusion? I mean, cope is delusion for sure. Because I'll say this much. 8 days out from the election, I'm not just a leftist, I am the largest left Democrat content creator, independent content creator in North America. And as that person, I should be the number one enemy of all Democrats right now. And even I am not only not getting that many attacks, people are still saying like, oh, you're in the tank for Trump, blah, blah, blah. They are. Of course they are. But the amount of anger and resentment that I at least personally tracked originally in 2016 and even in 2020, in both instances where I literally openly was in the tank for both Hillary Clinton and then for Joe Biden, in a way that I'm not for Kamala Harris. And yet the criticisms that I have gotten are so softer, so much more limited from the ride or die Democrats. And I think that is precisely because they too recognize that it's kind of lame. Like, they understand how dangerous Trump is, as do I, but they're not willing to go out to bat and openly be like, I love Kamala Harris and you're a fucking piece of shit because you don't love Kamala Harris sufficiently enough. And I think it's because a lot of people are inevitably going to go out and be like, quietly, without loudly and proudly proclaiming their support for Kamala Harris. I think that a lot of people are going to go out and vote for her at the end of the day because they do not want Donald Trump to be president. That's the way I foresee it. Because do you see what I'm saying? Like, if people were more openly pro Kamala Harris right now, if the campaign itself had any sort of fucking legs to stand on, okay? If the campaign itself had like at least some tangible policies that you could fucking point to and be like, this is what you don't want, fuck you, you're a fucking idiot. Because like in 2020, people will be like, you're not sufficiently pro Joe Biden. You just want undocumented migrants to be killed. They can't say that anymore. They can't say that anymore. That doesn't mean they won't vote for Kamala Harris, but that means that they're not very openly promoting Kamala Harris. Half the time, people that yell about Kamala Harris and about how people are not voting for Kamala Harris are usually outflanking the campaign. They are actually putting forward messages that the campaign not only has not put forward, but is objectively against. Actual policies, housing agenda, Medicare agenda, price controls. Dude, I have time and time again. The housing agenda is, come on. Medicare agenda, light, but expanding Medicare for at-home care is great. Came very late. There hasn't been enough messaging around it. And price controls have been good, which is precisely the reason why they fucking abandoned it almost entirely. Okay? But all of those issues alone are not enough, because the broadest, the most significant problems right now that the supposedly potential Kamala Harris voters can't even defend Kamala Harris on are literally, especially if you're online, Gaza. But beyond that, immigration. Anyone that comes out and is like, oh, you just want fucking immigrants to be slaughtered, or if you want, you want trans people to be murdered, dog, what the fuck? Straight up are outflanking the campaign. They are communicating a desire that they have over the campaign that the campaign itself has not actually outwardly defended, which is pretty funny. But I think that's the reason why. I think that it's one of those situations where I think, like, due to a multitude of different reasons, all of which I laid out earlier, including but not limited to annoying conversations that they don't want to have with people, the fact that, like, Kamala Harris is, like, not the most defensible candidate, and also, last but not least, the fact that, people don't want to fucking get fucking absolutely destroyed with political violence, like physical harm to themselves. I think that there's a lot of shy Kamala voters out there.
And it's amazing.
What would you like Trump to do if he gets elected? First day in office.
Change New York.
Change New York?
Yeah.
How so?
Make it better.
Close the
Make
border.
it greater. No, seriously. It's terrible.
Close the border, clean the water.
Close the border with Canada, or?
Clean the water? Clean the water? The fuck do you mean? Clean the water.
Right now, there's a war in Ukraine, there's a war in Gaza.
Yeah.
How do you want Trump to handle that?
Peacefully, diplomatically, peace through strength. I believe Trump's the best candidate for peace in the Middle East. He's proven that.
Do you agree with how much weaponry is being sent by America to Israel to help with this war?
I have no comment on that.
The reality is, though, when you're dealing with, Islamic fanatics, which is what we're dealing with in Gaza, or any kind of...
My sugar cookie from yesterday. I brought it back to give it the D machine, and he left it here. So now I'm eating it. No, the sugar cookie wasn't ours.
backward type of group of people. You need to understand that.
At least tell them, hey, Jill is the only candidate that wants to stop the genocide. At least say that. I mean, helping Win Green get 5% of their contributions on the next Democrat. No, I will not do that. No. I will not be doing that. Fuck no. You want to protest, vote for Jill Stein? Go ahead. If you want me to fucking advocate for Jill Stein, that's not fucking happening. Okay? Get the fuck out of here.
That they only speak the language of force.
How do you feel about the war in Gaza today?
I think if Trump was around, it would be over in 1 month.
What would he do differently to what the Biden administration is doing?
He would make sure that there's no distribution of anything over there, and you'll have the Gazans fighting with Hamas.
The distribution, you mean like humanitarian aid?
Exactly.
So I was bullied growing up in New York City by anti-Semitic children who were taught to hate Jews because of Israel. And this was starting as a...
What is this guy saying, bro? You're voting for Trump because you were bullied by anti-Semitic children? That is an innocent, like, what are you saying? First of all, you were bullied as a child, okay, by anti-Semitic children. I wonder what who those anti-Semitic children are voting for in New York.
As early as first grade. And how could children like know that Jews are bad people? Somebody had to have taught them that.
I mean, how do you feel
and it was a Democratic Party. This guy's so stupid.
about some of the people that accuse Trump of surrounding himself by people that do have anti-Semitic rhetoric in the past, people like Steve Bannon and Stephen Miller?
That was a problem for sure. And that's one of the reasons people like
Yeah, that was a problem. Not that big of a problem, though. This guy's awesome.
I mean, didn't vote for him before. I do think he's been wiser and smarter in terms of who he surrounds himself with more recently. You certainly don't see Steve Bannon like advising Trump and things like that. You know, I think he was foolish in the beginning, and that's part of his problem in 2020 why he lost, I think. But I think you're seeing a very different Trump this time around, and the polls are reflecting it, and I think the results will as well.
Why do you support Trump?
Because,
bro, he can't support Trump. He's 12. You are now asking a child.
I see people marching through the street calling for the death of people like me, and I don't think that's acceptable. So I think Trump will not let that happen.
Get over yourself. Didn't say to advocate, but at least dictate his positions about what each candidate view on Israel. And you forgot to mention, dude, why are fucking Jill Stein voters so unhinged? I do not believe that Jill Stein cares about anything other than popping up every 4 years when there's an election and being like, I'm here. Vote for me, please. And every year there are enough people that go, I'm going to do that. I never see her shooting in the gym. I never see her running laps. Click their card. You sound like AOC. Yeah. For the record, all my criticisms of AOC aside, and there are plenty, and I very openly criticize her regularly, AOC is still an infinitely more effective politician than Jill Stein. Like, going with Jill Stein is like writing me in for president. Okay? This person has done nothing to win your vote or your favor or your belief. I don't get it. I think it's desperation. And that I do understand. She can win if you vote for her. Yeah, true. So can Hillary. I foresee a lot of cranks in this direction, inevitably going in further crank, in the further crank direction, go in the crank distance. I've been doing this for quite a long time. Okay? For a very long time. This is not my first election cycle. Many of you right now are going to be like, honestly, yeah, I don't really care. It was a protest vote, and be normal. Some of you are going to fucking keep going down the crank route until you loop back around to like a more normalized tent pole. And by that, I mean like probably fucking Donald Trump, pro-Trump or pro-Republican. I think for a lot of people, they hate the Democratic Party for understandable reasons. And then their hatred for the Democratic Party basically turns into like, I just hate the Democratic Party and I want to punish them. And then, well, the only appropriate party that actively punishes them is the Republican Party. That's usually what happens. I wouldn't say this about PSL voters. Those guys are cooked already. I mean, they're activists. Respect to them.
What happened?
Who are you talking about when it comes to people marching?
Palestinian protesters saying Antifada revolution, which is calling for the death of all of the Jews.
There's a war in Gaza and Lebanon. How do you think Trump would handle a situation like that?
Better than Kamala. There wouldn't have been a war if Trump were in office. So.
How do you guys feel about what's happening over there?
Terrible.
It's horrible. Obviously, I mean, it shouldn't be happening. It's inhumane. And I think it shows the energy of the world right now.
Do you think young people in America today have a better understanding of what's happening in Palestine?
Yeah, I think definitely a lot. I know in 2016, back then I was very young, obviously. I was like 15 years old. And I saw Trump be pro-Israel. So I was like, oh, all right, that makes sense. Like, I'm just going to do whatever he says because I like him and whatever. And now that I've gotten older and realistically post-October 7th is when I think a lot of my generation specifically woke up. So I don't think it started on October 7th. I think that it started in 1948 when...
Oh my God. Yo! This is why they got to ban TikTok. They got to ban TikTok, dude. They have to... No, toothpaste out the tube. Pandora's box open. You got, by every metric, a blonde Trump supporter in New York being like, yeah, honestly, like, what is this, Rashid Khalidi? What the fuck is going on? What do you mean it didn't start on October 7th? This is the last person, aesthetically, this is the last person I could ever hear this kind of sentiment from. What the fuck is happening? AIPAC is so cooked, dude. ADL is so cooked.
The British and the United States decided to create Israel and make it a state. And that's when the first Nakba happened, 47 to 49. 15,000 Palestinians were killed. Even more were displaced. They were forced out of their homes. And as you see the maps from back then to now, Palestine has gotten smaller and smaller and smaller to the point where now it's Gaza and West Bank, and even West Bank is getting infiltrated. There's no safe place for Palestinians to exist.
Why do you think Trump would handle the situation better?
Because everyone's scared of him. Honestly, that's the only reason. Trump is very pro-Israel, and everything else I agree with him on except for that. So I honestly have to go with what I agree most on, and that would be with Trump.
Dude, Kamala Harris is so fucking stupid. The Democrats are so stupid. I mean, this is just one person in New York. It doesn't really matter, but the Democrats are so dumb, dude. There's so much data. There is so much data out there that shows that this is like a real right from wrong situation that like most people understand. There's just so much data. She's like, I want mass deportation, but I also think what Israel is doing is horrifying. Like, think about that. I promise you, there are more people like this out there. It's not just her. Okay? It would be a good faith initiative that could turn their perspective a little bit from the Democrats. That's all it would have taken.
But I think that Israel would be scared of Trump the same way that Hamas, Palestine, Iran, China, Russia, all these countries are scared of him.
We believe in God. We believe we believe Jesus. Globalists deny God.
This might be the pro-Palestine that's actually just anti-Semitic, though. Fuck no. Dude, they're wearing MAGA gear in the middle of New York. Have you listened to the actually anti-Semitic pro-Trump people? They would just be anti-Semitic. She's already wearing MAGA gear in New York. She's already given up half that conversation. Like, no, she would just be openly anti-Semitic if that was the case. She wouldn't be talking about the fucking Nakba and shit.
Yeah, so we believe in God. And Trump, we believe that God choose Trump.
God chose Trump.
Yes.
It was the only president that came and established Israel as the nation, its nation, the capital. Every president promised to do it.
He moved the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem.
He moved it to. And so he's not going to just stop with Jerusalem and Israel. He's going to move over into Palestine. He's going to bring peace in the land because he's sent by God.
Obviously, the border needs to be secure.
Very normal Trump supporter. Wow. That's cool. Thank you, ma'am, for that wonderful analysis.
Or in a fair manner. And then we have to stop sending money all around the world. I mean, it should be America first. That's nothing wrong with that. I mean, they say that we're insurrectionists, make America great again. That's make America great again for everybody. You may not like some of the things he says once in a while, but, you have to make a choice, and I think it's clear.
Speaking of money, the U.S. government under Joe Biden has sent $40 billion worth of weapons and aid to Israel this year. How do you feel about that?
I think we should support Israel, but I think we should stop all the money to Ukraine, and not all of it, but I mean, that war is going on for no...
He's like, give it to Israel. Stop this money to Ukraine. What are they doing? Defending themselves from Russia? Fuck those guys. Give it to Israel. I like wars that we can win. That's awesome. Please. They want more. They want more baby killing bombs. They want more bombs to kill babies with. What are the Ukrainians doing with that? They're killing the anti-woke crusaders in the Russian forces. That's fucked up. Okay? Please. Anti-Ukraine, pro-Israel dumb fucks. I mean, that is like a commonly held position in both Russia and also in Israel. So he's more aligned with people than he thinks he is.
No reason. I trust Trump that he's going to stop that war. Listen, he created those Abraham Accords, peace deals with the Middle East. This is what we need. A leader like that who's going to do things that no other president has been able to do.
Israel has to come out winner in this situation because Israel is very important. Very important.
Why? Why is that?
For this country?
He's like, give money to Israel instead, not to Russia, not to Ukraine. Please, do not give money to... let Russia do whatever it needs to do. Okay, it's very nice. You don't understand. Israel, very important ally. Why do you say? No, it's not good. What's happening in Ukraine? Not very good. And by that I mean, it's Russian territory. Just give it. It means the border.
It's ICE intelligence in the Middle East. Israel cannot go down.
Israel has a right to defend itself. Israel will defend itself. Israel will survive. And for everybody who's saying within our lifetime Israel will cease to exist, you are going to die one day and Israel will live strong. The question is whether...
Dude, you are not normal, dog. You're fucking insane. He's like, people who question Israel will die one day. Israel will never die. Israel will be stronger when you die. I'm going to kill you.
Israel will survive. And for everybody who's saying within our lifetime Israel will cease to exist, you are going to die one day and Israel will live strong. The question is whether can we make peace or can we not make peace?
How would you want President Trump to handle the war that's going on in Gaza right now?
He could tell Bibi to make that a parking lot for all I care. That's how I feel about that.
Wow, that's a Kamala Harris voter, I think. I mean, the sentiment expressed by like openly pro Kamala voters is not that different, you know?
That's how you'd want him to handle it.
I mean, that's what he's doing. Let him do it. He has every right. They came in out of nowhere and just attacked people on a holiday. Yeah. He can level it.
How do you feel about people that describe the situation in Gaza right now as a genocide?
It is what it is. It's happened throughout history, all of...
Jesus Christ, dude. Oh, my God. He's like, yeah, it's a genocide. Yeah, I like it. Okay, thanks, man. That's cool. You're a ginormous piece of shit. Fucking... reverse Santa Claus, dude. He said genocide is a naturally occurring phenomenon
of human history. It's just another page in the book.
Trump down. No fascist in America. Get rid of him. He's horrible.
I've hated him since the 80s. You know, I really...
This goes way back for you.
Yes.
I love these old ladies. Like, they're at every one of these fucking protests. They're
does
sick.
go way back, and I didn't like them then.
Obviously, there's a lot happening in the world right now. There's a war happening in Gaza. There's a war in Lebanon, obviously in Ukraine. And some of the people that we've talked to here say that Trump would be better off in power because he projects strength and that the United States needs to project strength. How do you feel about that?
I think that's a bunch of crap. Projects strength. He's a deranged lunatic.
My name?
Yes.
Vladimir Putin. Maybe you heard I have new single out.
You've got to change.
Bro, you're moving your mouth. You can't. What the fuck? You can't move your own. Like, you're destroying the purpose of being a ventriloquist. Am I crazy? Stop hating. Everybody has to start somewhere.
Change your haircut. I like it.
What? You're not wearing a freaking beanie. Let's see your hair, mister.
Let's see my hair.
This guy's telling me I need a haircut. Look at this clown.
Listen, I didn't say I did it.
Like a kiwi.
I didn't say I hated it.
Okay. I feel like we got off the wrong foot.
All right, well, tell me why you're here today.
I'm here because I'm, it's like I'm a big supporter of Donald Trump, and so I want to just kind of like show love.
So why is Trump doing a rally here in New York? There hasn't been a Republican candidate that has won this city since Ronald Reagan. It's been more than 40 years. And yet, some people think that he is here to send a message, to prove that he is just as popular here in the middle of a blue state than he is in other states around the country. Obviously, this is going to be a tough city for Trump to win.
Correct.
Why do you think he's campaigning here today?
I don't think Trump is campaigning here to win the votes of people who are here. I think he's doing it to show that don't be afraid to voice your opinion. There are more of us than you realize. There are more people who think the way people like myself think than you realize, even in blue places like this.
President Trump is a figurehead that we're sick and tired of the status quo, sick and tired of what's happening in America.
Like they say MAGA, we're not any extremists. Well, you could just see the love in the crowd around here. We just want...
Yeah, dude. It's like, those words ring hollow when we can see all of the people behind you and have heard what they have to say. Okay? He's right. There's way more Nazis in this country than I realized 10 years ago. Yeah. We're not extremists. We just want to fucking deport every migrant. What do you want? What do you want from me? We just want to fucking kill every brown person in America. All right? What do you want?
To have financial stability, and we want to have freedom and safety.